up? It's your boy, K-Blao Hood X. Hey, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Sign up for hoodx.com. Sign up for hoodx.com. This video is called The Law of Sekher. Now, this is a Kemetic term that was taught to me by a guy named Poe. And the way he explained it to me is not necessarily the traditional way that you would hear this law. Like, if you go look up Sekher, the definitions that they're gonna give you ain't practical in the way that I'm gonna give it to you. Just know that up front. But from my understanding of what Sekher is law number 3, meaning that if you're the sun, for example, you looking at Earth, like if your eye was the sun, and you're looking at not only Earth, you're looking at all of the planets rotate around the sun. Well, when you're looking at the Earth, like you're looking at a spot, like a circle like this, well, what you're looking at is gonna be lit up, and the other half is gonna be dark. It's kind of like in this concept of having the same thing in the moon, that they say that we've never seen the other side of the moon because of the way that it rotates. Is constantly facing one side. We're constantly looking at one side of the moon because of the way it rotates with the Earth. So this is the same kind of law when you're dealing with Sekher, is that if in this example the Earth was the moon and the sun was the Earth. So like you got the sun looking at the Earth, and it's rotating, but what the sun is looking at is only one half, meaning that it's about 24 hours in a day. So you're looking at about 12 hours. Inside the circle, it's about a 12-hour gap. This is also like, well, at time zones, where like I'm in Chicago right now, it's 10 o'clock, but like over in London, the sun is probably up. It's probably like, I don't know, like 4 or 5, maybe 6 o'clock in the morning, some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Because Sekher is only looking at light. So like right now, Sekher is in London right now. You know what I'm saying? Well, that's where the sun is looking at the Earth, and it's looking at it in sections of, I'm probably doing this backwards because I'm on the video, but like this would be like 12 o'clock midnight, and like over here would be like 12 o'clock, like 12 o'clock noon. Something like that, in the sense that like every section of it is broken up in like hour gaps. This is where hours come from, or Horus or Haru is where hours come from. An hour is Haru, it's a section of time. So you got 12 o'clock to 1 o'clock. So like, say for example, we sell hot dogs, you know what I'm saying, and in the city. So we're moving throughout the city from different locations, from 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock, you know what I'm saying? So like 12 o'clock, we know, okay, we're gonna go over here in front of where all of the post office people come out, because they get off lunch they get lunch at 12 o'clock, and then once 12 to 1, we're gonna move over here, because this is where all of the baseball players, they get done playing baseball at 1 o'clock. Then we're gonna move over here, because at 2 o'clock, the gym lets out, and all of the basketball players like to eat over here. So like, as the hours are moving, we're moving with the sun. So like, depending on where the sun is, it's kind of controlling our sales force, or how we're, approaching different people who had this hunger in them. But it's not just hunger, it's just the mood that you're in, depending on what time of day it is. So like the 8 o'clock personality you might have in the morning, like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, when you're on your way to work, or you're just getting to work, or you're just waking up in the morning, 7 o'clock in the morning, it's gonna be totally different from the personality you have at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock when you're getting off and you're on your way home. It's two different personality types. And this is the law of Sekher. Basically, it's kind of like the pre-predictable things you're going to be doing around, like, say, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock in the morning, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, you start getting hungry, you want to eat, and 1 o'clock, and, start looking at the clock when you're going to go home, and then 2 o'clock, starts going on 3 o'clock, and, how you going to feel at 3 o'clock versus how you going to feel at, 5 o'clock when you're going home, versus, like, 7 o'clock when you are at home, and you're watching TV, or you're hanging out with your friends, and, like, that's her personality, and then 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11, you start getting tired around 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, you start going to bed, and like all of these sections of time are already kind of determined, your type of behavior throughout the day. So, like I said, as the sun is looking at the Earth, the sun just sees these sections, and as the Earth is just rotating, the sun is looking at it, and the time sections pretty much stay the same. So, if you're the sun looking at the Earth, the people all the way to the left, where the sun is just coming up on the horizon, these people are constantly waking up. And the people all the way to the right, where the sun is going down on the horizon, these people are constantly going to sleep. So as the world is turning, the sun is just watching the same drama within this, like, it's like a 12-hour section. It might not necessarily be 12 hours. So I'm hoping y'all get the point though, but like the earth is, I mean, the sun is just watching the hours, basically section off as the world turns. The people are going through these sets of drama, you know, based on the different sections of time. So, and like I said, this is a hood interpretation of Sekher. This is not the actual, you know, the real true Kemetic. It's based on the true Kemetic term, which, you know what I'm saying, I encourage you to go look up yourself. There's a lot of different, this can be explained a lot of different ways, thousands, millions of interpretations, you know what I'm saying. A lot of people don't know what the Netu Neter is, or, and what these terms are, like Sekher and Mayat, which is number 4, Mayat, and, you know what I'm saying, number 5, Haruk Kahudi, and number 6, Haru, and, you know, each one of these have a meaning. So law number 3, which is law of Sekher, is like, basically like the little guy sitting up inside your brain, driving your body around, you know what I'm saying, reacting to the position of the sun. Depending on where the sun is at, it's going to affect this little guy sitting inside your brain, which is going to affect your whole shell, like your body. Like, you ever see these Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles named Krang? The dude named Krang, on it was a brain, used to sit in the stomach of this big robot. Well, like Krang, you know what I'm saying, was the brain, but the forces of the brain, I mean, the forces that's being put on the brain, depending on what time of day it is. You see what I'm saying? And not just depending on what time, because time is really an illusion. It's really on the position of the sun. So basically, like, the position of the sun, how it controls your day. I hope you understand, you know what I'm saying, the point that I'm getting. It's a real simple, I love the concept of Sekher, and just how, you know, how you approach people different depending on what time of day. This is another reason why I use the word Smith Day. Like, today is Friday, we call it Smith Day. So like Friday about 5 o'clock, traffic. Friday 6 o'clock, you know what I'm saying, you think about the intensity that's in the air, the music that's on the radio, and like the people, all the people stuck in traffic trying to get home, trying to cash their check, trying to get money out to this we call Smith Day, which is like, Smith is the character from the Matrix, the agent that used to jump in all the people. And if you remember, this is exactly what happened in the Matrix. Like, Smith was jumping in all the people. So you feel like Friday, that's why a lot of times I don't even like to leave the house on Friday, but as you can see, I'm in my car driving, because somehow, some way, the energies always come force me and pull me out of my house on Friday. So I end up getting stuck in this Matrix, you know what I'm saying. But the reality of it is, like, Friday, I try not to leave the house, because I know, based on the law of Sekher, is that that's the day where, like, you got all this chaotic energy in the air, and, you know, say, especially around 5, 6, 7, 8 o'clock. So if I'm on the phone with somebody, say, hey man, let's link up around Friday at, like, you know, 6, 7 o'clock, I'm gonna be like, hell no, I ain't going nowhere on Friday at 6, 7 o'clock, because it's gonna be a hassle just me trying to get to you. You see what I'm saying? Because I understand these laws of Sekher. That's why I don't try to set up no appointments, you know what I'm saying, on Friday. You see what I'm saying? And also, like, different times of day, like, I know approach, like, a lot of times if I gotta go, if you're gonna go on a job interview, they say most of the time you're gonna go in the morning, and probably like on a Monday or a Tuesday, because like this is the time when people are aware, they're up and they're ready to start talking about these things, you know, business and, you know, hiring you. Like, the worst time to go on a job interview is, you know, Friday, you know, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, right when people about to get off and go home for the weekend. You do not want to go to a job interview on Friday at 3, 4 o'clock. You see what I'm saying? You want to be ahead of that mental energy, you know what I'm saying, on Monday or Tuesday, where they thinking about it, you know what I'm saying, throughout the week while they're there, and they can see why they need you. You see what I'm saying? They go home on Friday, on Monday when they get there, they're not going to even remember you. You know what I'm saying? So like, this is an example of crazy. Like they say, timing is everything. You know what I'm saying? What they really saying is the position of the sun is everything. You know what I'm saying? Which is the law of Sekher. You know what I'm saying? Time is an illusion. So I gotta cut this light out so I don't get pulled over by the police. Like I said, it is Friday night, so I'm gonna end this video here. If y'all got any questions, or, you know what I'm saying, any interpretations of the law of Sekher, I encourage y'all to go look it up. You can leave any comments, any things you find. I would love to see your interpretations, and I'm gonna holler at y'all. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. Peace.